Hey guys, 412 Sports Cards here today, back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about prospecting. Usually you don't hear me talking about prospecting, usually I'm talking about longer term investing. But I'm hoping to bring some insights to you on prospecting, especially as we're gearing up for the new NBA season. Now, I don't know how closely you guys are watching, but you're probably hearing it on social media. The Luka base prism, which I consider the barometer for all modern cards, is starting to pick up. I would say up about 10-15% off its lows in September. Most of those gains coming in the past couple weeks. I think we're really starting to gear up, and especially as we hit the draft, we're entering the hype phase for the next season. What that means is it's right now in this moment is when I'd be getting your hands on some prospecting cards. So the old adage has always been, it's always been Prism like that, Prism Silvers, Prism Base in particular has been what you're supposed to speculate on for your off-season prospecting investments. I'm not going to dispute here today that Prism is king. I think no one's going to deny that Prism is king, but I think that the investment strategies for prospecting is shifting. I don't necessarily always think that the appropriate choice for prospecting is Prism anymore, just because of how much people are starting to respect rarity and pop reports. And I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to break down all prospects into 3 tiers for you guys so we can get and look at by the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 prospects what I think are the cards that you should be targeting for investment. So we'll get into tier 1 here. I've got a big stack. Tier 1 is talent who's shown glimpses of superstardom. And we're going to talk past 2 years. Luka, no duh. I still consider him to be like the prospecting type play, and I think people still play him that way. I mean, it's only going to be his 3rd year, but certainly shown glimpses of superstardom. Don't have any right now, just been buying some, but it's not in yet. Some Trae Young. And then from last class, we're looking at Ja, and we are looking at Zion. Don't own a lot, but basically what my theory here is that I've talked about it a lot before, and people are becoming savvy, right, to pop reports and stuff. They're realizing that Luka base prism, there are like 16,000 10s, and there are like 20,000 Ja prisms in the pop report. Insane stuff like that. Whereas these court sides are only like 200 total in the pop report up, maybe less. People are definitely starting to respect rarity in the hobby, and especially when you get into guys who are a lot more proven, whose prices aren't as hinged upon performance in one game and performance in 1 or 2 games shooting up prices. I think that as you prospect on safer plays like this, who you don't necessarily desire to flip after a good game or a good week, getting into safer stuff like this is really nice. I personally like Select just because it's a big 3, Prism Optics Select brand with so much rarity. You guys heard me talking about Select so much on here, I bet. But anyways, you get the idea. Like stuff like these mosaics, I think especially as people like Ja, Zion, Luka prove themselves more, cards like this are not going to increase in price as much. Anybody could get their hands on these, and as players cement their place in history or just cement themselves as rising superstars or as superstars, it's those big cards that the big collectors and the big fish in the hobby are going to chase, and they're going to see the most massive gains. Whereas cards like these mosaics and the Prism base that have such high pop reports, I don't think are long-term the plays, even though they're obviously base Prism is so notable. So that's why I would say for the tier 1 guys, I would be looking at maybe like Select or some more rare type of stuff. Then we get into tier 2, which is like somewhere between like the Jaws, Zions, and like the tier 3, like you hope for a flash in the pan, like just big game. So we'll just get into some of these examples. We got like RJ, Brandon Clark, Donovan Mitchell. Hesitated putting him in here. He's probably more of a tweener between like the group 1s and the group 2s, but we'll cast him aside. Tyler Hero, MPJ, DeAndre Ayton. You know what I mean with these guys? They're the type of guys who have definitely shown. I mean, RJ maybe not that much. Brandon Clark, first team all rookie. Tyler Hero, we all saw him play in the bubble. MPJ went off in the bubble. DeAndre Ayton puts up unreal stats. These guys definitely have the potential to creep into that superstar conversation, But I don't think anyone's going to doubt that DeAndre Ayton is a big tick below the likes of Luka and Trey. So they just don't garner the same hobby respect. Even though they've shown a lot out there on the court, they don't have the same hobby respect. So what does that mean for your investment? It means that I think a guy like Brandon Clark could see, if he put up a lot of big games and showed a lot of points production, for example, I think his base prism like this could go up a lot, and it could go up really fast. And I think that that's important to note. But I also feel like, especially since they have a little bit of a following, that kind of respect for rarity and that get these more rare cards of good players might be taking a little bit of an effect. I don't think you see that, flight to rarity and scarcity with the lower end guys as much, but I think these guys are kind of right in the middle. So I could see going for the prism type, the higher population, higher popularity play, or something like a select. Quick rant. I hope that this sheds some light onto topics for you guys. I think Optic right now is just a lost product. Prism's been king for so long, and now we're seeing Select start to get popularity because it's a hobby-only product with lower populations. Optic's stuck in the middle. It doesn't have the notoriety of Prism, and it has the population of Prism. It's in retail, just like Prism is. So there's so much of it. I'm not really huge on Optic right now. I think it's kind of lost, but that's a quick rant. For these middle tier guys, I think the play on Prism is pretty strong. I think the play on like a more rare Select type or other rarity, numbered parallels from other sets is a good play. Then this gets us into tier 3 guys who are still looking for a big break, and you're hoping that they have like a flash of something and that you can maybe sell them. So, Jared Allen's a little older, but still a 2017 rookie. And then like Colin Sexton and Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter got like a new manager this year. I think they might have gotten a new GM too. So, there's hope for him to show a lot of promise. Colin Sexton came into the league as an offensive powerhouse. Obviously has not lived up to that. But anyways, the general idea is here, for example, think about it this way. If Jarrett Allen gets popular or has a big couple games, who's going to be like, you know what, I should get myself a Jarrett Allen Optic? Nobody. Everyone's going to be like, I got to get Prism. Because that's what people go to when a new guy shows up on the scene. They run to Prism. See, that's why I think Select, for example, works with a guy like Luka, because as Luka cements himself, it's not a revelation that we should be going to try to get Luka Prism. People are just looking to level up in Luka as he gets better. But with a guy like Jarrett Allen, people want Prism. And I think for that reason, same holds for like Colin Sexton and Wendell Carter. If these guys start to show something, people are going to be like, I want their Prism. And I think in these types of plays, no doubt, the Prism brand and the popularity it has, it's what's going to help you move your cards. It can be tough to sell cards of lower-end guys like this, but that's where the Prism brand can be huge for you as a prospector. It's what's going to allow you to move the cards when the guys perform. If you had lesser brand cards of these guys and they had like a huge week, I don't think you'd necessarily see the prices go up, and I don't think you'd necessarily get the chance to pocket some profits. So it's kind of a nuanced video on a little bit of why I think the Prism brand, no doubt, it's still king. But I think that just for higher end guys, when they go off, people are looking to level up. Whereas for lower end guys, when guys go off, they're looking to get something at all. And when you're looking to get something at all, you buy Prism. Anyways, I hope that video was helpful and it helps you guys as you prospect going into the next year, and I'll catch you next time.